Sitting here meditating and pondering on the ways of the world today. Thinking of my people Africa and the state of the continent today. How mothers fed their children today. As granny goes down on her knees every day and prays. How many souls are dying from causes that could be prevented? If we did have leaders who cared for us today. Oh, 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 Zion and Yahweh. Zion away. Zion away. Africa rise, every 4 years, the politician say he's your servant today. After you vote for them, they metamorphose into your masters. I say, have your say, we'll have our way, yeah. Not no strange, it's cow demon crosses. Meanwhile, souls are dying from causes that could be prevented. If we did have leaders who cared for us today. Zion and Yahweh. Zion away. Zion away.
Never ever quit, just a little bit longer. Victory is near, they're gonna disappear, go under. The leaders, them no care, never tend to share. Babylon quit, the shedding of blood. Your heart that goes up if you show no love. Stay away, righteousness. What the God in this and if for no righteousness. Just make sure the children live.
I pray for the future generation not to give up this fight. I pray for the children of tomorrow not to sell out their birthright. Cause when I look afar, I see the strangers eating up your food. Another form of slavery is coming here again. And that's why people are dying. Causes that could be prevented. Oh yes, we do need some better leadership today. Oh, oh, oh. Zion and Yahweh. Zion away. Let's go. Zion away. As the day breaks, I see my people rising up again, shaking off all the shackles. I see my people shaking off those chains. The lion will be made. Blood of the slain will never be in vain. No. I don't want to see no more people dying from causes
I want to prevented.
No more Richard better leadership today.
I pray.
Zion and Yahweh. Zion away. Yes, indeed. 1212 Radio Culture, iCulture TV. Welcome to the show. Yes, as usual, we all are in one unison, crying and calling out for the development and for the better living standards of our people. And I'm talking the Ghanaian and the African people by extension, and also all people of color, black people across the whole wide world, all underprivileged people. Our voice go out in alliance. Welcome to the show once more. Today is the end of the year show. Today is the review show. Once again, my name is Kwesi Eson Bako, and I'm sitting in here from Studio One, Texas, USA. I'm ably backed by my team in Ghana, and we're doing this together. We're bringing you a review of the year 2025 and the stories that we covered for you. Radio Culture. Yes, we'll be bringing you 15 solid stories that we have selected from the many stories that we covered for you. We'll be bringing you snippets, excerpts from these 15 stories. And also on the segments, we'll be bringing you the reports in review. The year in review, GH reports. Justice Marfo will be here to bring you the selection of the reports that he has brought you in the course of the year. And we also have a recap of the year's arts and culture stories with a man called Synergy. And of course, the agriculture show, the agriculture with Rootsman. We have snippets for you as well. Before we roll it all out, we want to thank you very much for being with us for this year. We want to say that this coming year is going to be even better. We strive to bring you the stories that the mainstream media does not cover in as much or as good quality. As you know, we have our reporters on the ground all across Ghana and also in some other African countries, and we will be bringing you reports. In the coming year, we'll be bringing you more reports from the sub-region. All right, let's get the show started. We'll be right back after this short commercial break, after which we bring you the year in review. Please stay with us.
since 1994, crafting natural products with organic shea butter and red palm oil. All products are available on Walmart.com and Shopify, or visit our website at chrismark.com.
Ghana's best kept culinary secret.
Making healthy food choices are a daily challenge for most people. You see, the food you eat can either be the safest and most powerful form of medicine or the slowest form of poison. Introducing the Green Health Pharmacy and Functional Medicine Clinic that gets to the root cause of your disease. We present to you the True Green Foods brand that allows you to enjoy healthy food options without sacrificing the foods you love. True Green Foods have low-carb swallow options for fufu, banku, tuozafi, eba, kenke, amala, and semovita. Good tasting and supremely delicious without compromising blood sugar, blood pressure, cholesterol, weight management goals, and all diseases that one may be battling with. They also have a low-carb replacement for oatmeal, grits, and cream of wheat, which are highly dense in carbohydrates. Check out Alta Oats, Beta Oats, Clean Oats, as well as Kajma Porridge and Cream of Laka when you visit our shop. The breakfast options are not just delicious, but meet the standards of an anti-inflammatory diet. All True Green Foods are all diabetic friendly. Find Green Health Pharmacy in Woodbridge, Virginia, or call us on 703-670-3640. WhatsApp 571-300-5039. Find us on IG at Green Health Farm. There's no better way for a healthy lifestyle. Remember, your health is your wealth.
Welcome to Tucson Hotel, your ultimate home away from home. Located in the serene town of Ejisu Ichakrum, just off the Jabin Road, we offer you a haven of comfort and luxury. Step into our fully air-conditioned 40 bedrooms, where modern elegance meets convenience. Whether you choose our normal, standard, deluxe standard, or executive rooms, each one is equipped with Wi-Fi and DSTV, ensuring that you stay connected and entertained throughout your stay. Indulge your taste buds at our exquisite bar and restaurant, where our skilled chefs prepare a wide range of culinary delight to satisfy every palate. From local delicacies to international favorites, we have something for everyone. Planning a business meeting or a special event? Look no further than our state-of-the-art conference hall. With a capacity to accommodate 80 to 100 people, it is the perfect venue for your corporate gatherings or social celebrations. But that's not all. We proudly boast the largest recreational center in the Ejisu municipality. With a capacity to accommodate up to 2,000 people, it is the ideal location for concerts, weddings, and other grand events. It comes with 4 fully air-conditioned bedrooms and a kitchen as one package. Our luxury cars are also available for rent. Drive like a boss. To experience true hospitality and unmatched comfort, contact us today. Our friendly staff is ready to assist you. You can reach us at 0244 654 458, 0246 505 327, or 0241 418645. You can also email us at info@tucsonhotel@gmail.com. Tucson Hotel, your home away from home.
All right, welcome back to the show. Thank you very much for staying with us. Let's go straight to our first story of the well, not necessarily our first story of the year. We are going to our first story of the day. Now, we've broken the review into three segments. We have social stories. We have, and under the social stories, we've also broken it into, we have mining related stories, stories related to galamsey, or mining in general. And then we also have social stories, human interest stories from our communities. Some of these stories were never reported by the mainstream media, but if you hear them, you'll find out that they definitely were worth reporting. And then we will also go on to our political stories. For our very first story, let's go to Alhaji Inusa Fuseni, former Minister for Lands and Natural Resources under the NDC. We spoke with Alhaji Inusa Fuseni regarding the abrogation of the contract by the government for some mining companies at the time. Let's hear what he had to say.
Radio, culture.
Radio. Okay, please pardon us. What's going on in this room? What's going on with the videos? Please pardon us. We'll be right back. We will be right back after the show. Blood of the slain will never be in vain.
Never.
No. We don't want to see no more people dying. Zion Yahweh. Whoa. Zion Yahweh. Whoa. Zion Yahweh. Whoa. Zion Yahweh. Yo, listen, man. My name is Ja, beloved. You can call me Kwesi back when the occasion calls for it. You are watching iCulture TV. Keep it locked. iCulture TV. Africa. From African perspective.
Take our minerals away. We appreciate that we might not have the technology. But yes, compensating for their investment, we must get rewards. So in this Goldfield case, we are not satisfied that the company has followed through with the letter of the law and complied with what the law says they should make available to this country through the minerals, through the Minerals Commission.
It doesn't sound like it was a very hard thing to do for a company of that stature, though. Why do you think they were trying to leave by themselves? Because I wonder. You know this is what you came to do. You know it's a requirement, right? That's a big company. It seems to me as if they had already decided to leave.
Yeah. So no. They didn't decide to leave. They applied for a renewal. That place is still very interesting.
And I was going to ask you, Honorable, that was going to be my next question to you. Is it a viable mine? Is it worth spending any energy on at all?
It's a viable mine. That's why they applied to renew in the first place. But they thought that, everybody says that in Ghana everything is possible. So they thought that the system as they know it will exist. And so even if they didn't couple the application for renewal with
use other route,
whatever the law demands them to do, they will still be able to have their way.
So this is the case of a new sheriff in town showing different sets of rules. Is that what's happening?
No. Now, if we're showing different set of rules, by now you have been hearing them make noise.
No, I'm saying different set of rules, as in different set of rules from the everything is possible mantra that they are used to. Now we're just it's a fidelity to the law. So no one is now seeking to close his eyes to the obvious requirements of the law. Everybody's now saying, look, we've been taken for granted for far too long. And we can't allow, look at Obuasi. Money has been going there for close to 100 years. But Obuasi is not like Johannesburg. No. Almost
so
nothing to show for it.
Nothing to show for it. So do we allow that situation to continue? And when the gold is finished, what happens to us?
Basically.
It's a non-renewable resource.
All right. And Honorable, we also see the formation of the Gold Board. Recently, we had okay, so that was our first story with Alhaji Inusa Hussaini, former Lands and Natural Resource Minister. He spoke to us regarding general mining issues, but in particular on this topic, we were comparing, the benefits from mining in different parts, and we took Ghana and South Africa as an example. Now, something that caught my attention in that interview, which was not involved in this clip though, is that he made mention of the fact that in South Africa, the development models for a place like Johannesburg was different because the colonizers had decided to stay, right? It was okay. They had decided to stay, period. Not that they didn't decide to stay in Ghana, they decided to, but it was different. In Ghana, if you check how Ghana was colonized, it was more like a plantation style colonization, right? That's why they would build a railway from the shores to Obuasi because there's gold there. They'll build it from there to maybe Takrady or whatever because there's timber there, that type of thing. But in South Africa, these people had planned to make it their home. So they built it like their home. They built Johannesburg like London or New York or Geneva or wherever, because they had planned to stay, they had planned to live there. Whereas in Ghana, they had planned to come and loot the country and set up vessels who would be doing their bidding and sending the loot back to good old Mother England or Mother whatever other country colonized Ghana at what point, or that part of Africa at what point. But anyhow, so that was our first interview. In our next interview, we're going to watch a snippet from the spokesperson from this National Small Scale Miners Association, something to that effect. I forget what exactly they call it. Will come up. But yes, we spoke to him regarding President Mahama's fight against Galamsey at the time. Let's hear what he had to say. Okay, we're having a challenge with the videos. Newsroom, what's going on? We may have to reload the videos. Let's try one more time while we speak. I don't want us to keep going for commercial breaks because it's going to completely slow down the show. We have a lot of clips to go through. I'm not sure what's going on there, but let's try to reload that video of the Small Scale Miners Association spokesperson speaking with us. I believe that's coming up soon. Please bear with us, audience. The fight against Galamsey on a scale of 1 to 10, up to this point, and I feel like it's not even fair, but because there's so much noise going on around it, let's go there. On a scale of 1 to 10, for the fight against Galamsey, how much would you give President Mahama? 1 being the least, 10 being the most. On a scale of 1 to 10.
My brother, I think with that skill and numbering and what, I want him to succeed. So mine is to make sure that he works to succeed. That's for me to give him any skill that is because, like I said, if he's able to top the in-house activities, especially his non-political leaders who are mingling themselves in a way on some of these issues, that is where we need to all look at, because there are instances that we see and we hear physical politicians trying to interfere in these activities and whatever. Because you could see MPs, you could see DCs bringing themselves. So the whole thing for now, me given that skill, I will not do anything until I want to see by close of the year till that I will see that okay, we are making this type of progress, and I can give that skill. But for now,
I'll take that for an answer, and also because we believe that you will come back to speak with us. All right, and we do apologize for the bad sound quality in that clip. We do apologize for that. But yes, that was the Small Scale Miners Association spokesperson who talked to us about the Galamsey fight at some point. And one quick note on that also. We hear a lot of commentary about President Mahama's fight against Galamsey, and there's a certain narrative out there to the effect that that's the one area that his government is failing or is not doing as well or as much or whatever. I beg to differ a whole lot. And one of these days I'm going to try to get an interview with Erastus Asaridako to give us a real picture of what's going on. If there's anybody who can be trusted on that issue, yes, I'll put my head out, definitely, for your Erastus Asaridako. Now, why am I saying that? Why am I saying that I disagree? I disagree because previously we did not see, and it's not just an issue of aesthetics, it's not just an issue of seeing, watching something, it's an issue of actually having something going on. In the last years before the administration, I did not see that effort, I did not see that willpower, I didn't see
the political will, I should say, to go out and fight LMC. Now we see that, and it's not an easy fight at all. Don't let anybody get it twisted at all. It's not an easy fight. But what it is, we're getting a lot of resistance from Ghanaians, and that's what shocks me. That's what completely throws me off. It's like some people are bold enough to stand up and say, yeah, we want to keep destroying the environment. Screw it, everybody else can go hang themselves. And they're doing that by threatening political retribution. We won't vote for you next time, all of it. Half of these people in Nigeria vote for Muhammad, believe me. If not more than half. So I would urge the president to put his foot down in that area. Because it looks like, yeah, there's a lot going on, but there's still a lot more to be done in the area of Galamsey. Okay, let's go on to our next story. Our next story is a little heartbreaking. Not a little, it's a whole lot heartbreaking. It's about this farmer who alleges that some Galamsey people destroyed his farm. We have followed that story and we're getting conflicting sides to the story. Eventually, our assessment of it was to go speak with the chiefs of the area because all this could not be going on without the chiefs knowing anything about it. It's an ongoing story which we're going to carry into 2026. But let's go to the next clip for this farmer, I think his name is James, who alleges that some Galamseyers ran roughshod over his farm and destroyed it. And again, as soon as we start having issues with the videos, this room reload the video straight away, please. Let's do that. Okay. Opening Kwame, and I said, Yabra Kwame, let's hear.
Any from obi anya bio ene ne nya de ho bagim wo adwafo mu a yenya ne ho bagim because me baba ye akua pa ablante aboka asesika empempem atoto machines e de yafu no kwa brane ni gold e ba kofo gold ene ma we ene ka bana me chiko boaso amom nya number emitimi ti ba kwa e feda emika kwa menya 30 million e kwa mnuza me investment kwa mu a eska mu nya no emenya enim dia mko fan Dubai emko Dubai e fienu ene mko so akwa mfa so e yafu ho eme ba enso bia ne hani so de adwuma but metime tuo nya nsuo ama opebre nyam de ayefo ama ba emiko mo na msopra mo nema ema wa be fe me nema nyina e police fund de ema wa ma ne e because mo de obo ma ne kwa nan ko e fi se omo mo betutu enema no e police fund de animu e betutu nema no omo sa de ma omo mo sa betintim sa no mu ni kwa anya ni sei e pelefo anya bia eminim se ene ka nyama gyina information so aka che yu so obia fa no ho nye ekwadwuma mu na mi hu obia ablante bia so fa no ho nye ekwadwuma bia mu se e bre ne e bregu e wukwa iska ka wono de shema e ka na be san bo it is a normally abrese youth yenya adwuma na yezakua no ye mokro no yeti mapu opebre menua enyadwa ne moko ene aburo ebra medua mu no e betuma so medi ho enyina e batnya bofo nkwa na me yeyo e me yenyadwa ne na enimde chese me famu mako mako chese
Very heartbreaking story, and we are in touch with this young man. We offered him some advice, some of the things he was saying and all of that. I personally spoke to him. I told him to calm down and focus on the work he's doing and how to get compensated for his work, rather than try to politicize the issue like he was also trying to do, But it's another story we'll be carrying. I mentioned this already, we'll be carrying into 2026. We spoke with the alleged Galamsey also. His name is Tagore. Newsroom, I wish we had prepared the video on the clip for Tagore. But anyhow, go to our Facebook page, go to our YouTube page, everybody, and you find all these stories that we're talking to you about. You find all the videos that we're talking about. And please, while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe. And also, I believe that if you look somewhere here-ish or there-ish, I think you should find a QR code. With that QR code, if you scan that, it's going to take you straight to our website, where you also find our stories as well. But back to the story. we spoke to Tagore, the alleged Galamsey, who stated that story is not true at all. He said that Newsroom is telling me there's too much echo in the sound. I'm not sure what we can do. Let's see if we can sort that out real quick. I'm getting feedback from Newsroom that there is too much echo in the sound out there. Let's go for it. Very short break. We will be right back. Hopefully the issue will be solved. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Since 1994, crafting natural products with organic shea butter and red palm oil. All products are available on Walmart.com and Shopify, or visit our website at chrismark.com.
Blood of the slain will never be in vain. No. We don't want to see no more people dying. Zion Yahweh. Whoa. Zion Yahweh. Whoa. Zion Yahweh. Whoa, Zion Yahweh. Yo, listen, man. My name is Ja, beloved. You can call me Kwesi back when the occasion calls for it. You are watching iCulture TV. Keep it locked. iCulture TV. Africa from an African perspective. All right, we're back, and I hope that the issue of the echo has been solved. Newsroom, let me know, please, if there are still any issues. Hopefully not. So we go on with our stories. All right, so let's put the issue with Tagore. No, let me wrap up the issue with Tagore. So we spoke with Tagore. Tagore told us that what Kwame Gyamfi was telling him was completely bogus. He said that Newsroom said there's still an echo in there. Oh gosh, I don't know what to do. Newsroom, give me a report after about 5 or so minutes, okay? Because I understand the system is being reset, but we are already live. I'm completely confused what to do, because otherwise we have to cut and reset the whole entire show, which is not ideal. So please give me a report after about 5 or so minutes. Okay, please. Thank you. I'll be looking out in the chat. All right. So Tagore told us that Kwame Gyamfi's story is bogus, that what he's saying is not true at all, but he did not touch his farm. He hadn't touched his farm. The part of the land that he touched was a place which had been agreed on for him to make a path into the forest to go mine. Right? Now, I was trying to build the story to a point where we can actually confront that whole Galamsey issue. But I wanted us to clear the issue with Kwame Gyamfi first. Right? So, it's still, like I said, it's still a story that's ongoing. I'm going to check in with Newsroom real quick for an update
on the sound situation. Please don't go away. I will be right back. Just stay with me, please. All right, thank you very much. Newsroom, I don't think we have the best sound at all, but under the circumstances, we are not able to truncate the show. Let's just go on. Unless you think it's terrible, then let me know so we can do something about it. But at this point, it looks like we're just going to have to soldier on with what we have while we leave the tech guys to reset the system like they said they're doing. Okay, so our next story is from all right, let's get a little bright here, you know. So far the story that we've been bringing, at least the last two stories, have not been very heartwarming, but we have one that's going to make us feel a little better. And we did speak with Richard Alima. Richard Alima is a natural resources expert. And Richard Alima is also the newly minted PIAC chairman, Public Interest Account Committee chairman. And we asked him about the Heritage Fund, which we were hearing rumors were being tampered with by some politicians. He cleared the air for us. This is what Richard had to say.
Oh, it's not accurate. It's not being depleted. It's not. The Heritage Fund has been invested overseas in very secure, investment bonds. So it's very secure. I can tell you it's very secure. As we talk, the Heritage Fund has accumulated in excess of almost $1.3 billion. It's money sitting down there for future generations. And the law is such that the government cannot touch it. The law says that it has to be there for at least 15 years after oil production. So government can only touch it 15 years after oil production. And when I say touch,
the last oil well has dried up. Then we
15 years after we start production.
Oh, okay.
15 years after we start production. We started production in 2011. December 2010. Yeah. So 15 years will be December 2025. And secondly, after 15 years, if the government wants to spend the money, it cannot spend the principal. It can only chop the interest on the money. It can only chop the interest on the money. Even then, it has to take 2/3 majority of parliamentarians to vote for the government to spend the interest on the Heritage Fund. So you realize that the framers of the law put in all these restrictions to ensure that we do not frivolously spend the money to satisfy our whims and caprices. Yeah.
All right, you heard it for yourself. So at least, and thank you, Newsroom, for the update. Thank you very much. Okay, so yes, that's quite heartwarming, isn't it? To know that the Heritage Fund, at least for all the oil that's being mined and drilled and whatnot, there is the Heritage Fund, which is intact for future generations. And it is fantastic to hear that news coming from the chairman of the Public Interest and Accountability Committee. Okay, let's move from galamsey and mining and all these stories to social stories, human interest stories. We will bring you that right after the short commercial break.
Since 1994, crafting natural products with organic shea butter and red palm oil. All products are available on Walmart.com and Shopify, or visit our website at chrismark.com.
All right, and we are right back and on to our next story in the review for the year 2025. So in the year 2025, we also spoke with, and like I said before the break, we are moving on to social stories now. We did some stories that, and like I say, we touched the corners where the mainstream media would not touch or don't even think about, right? But anyhow, we empaneled a teacher from the United States and a teacher from Ghana who spoke, compared notes, compared some, pros and cons and everything. The teacher from the United States agreed that there are some good things to be learned from the Ghanaian educational system. But overall, there is also a lot that the Ghanaian educational system can also adapt from the US educational system. One of those things he mentioned is the system of pedagogy, the system of teaching children, pedagogy, and teacher Safo Kantanka, who empaneled with Nana Ko. Nana Ko is a Ghanaian, Ghanaian born, but lives in the United States and teaches here. Two of them were empaneled to speak about the issue, and teacher Safo Kantanka had some very interesting comments to make regarding adapting pedagogy as a means of teaching children in Ghana. This is one of the things that they agreed, both of them agreed, was to be adapted if we can, right, for the children of Ghana, for teaching the children of Ghana. Let's go and listen to teacher Safo Kantanka.
I am from Sopi, Sabi, Ura Sukumana, a Obruni Casa, and no, Yahoo, and you say, my watch chinky, and Januana, a bit to me the Atradia, and soon can think, Yadiania Krum Casano, actually, I did go through baby. Na se no trade na nka brofo no so bata ho mienu na nka ye de ko e so hwe o ma bi te se Hollanda wo mo de wo Dutch no e trade e no mo san de brofo so e trade ta kora bi wo kra no san fa French a wo mo de kan akono be nyina dura ni mo e san so de ni mienu ana na me nsan nyina e ko nti wo te ni nyina pepepe enso na ya de no de akwaya de se to wumpo broni de no na se de ono ti na de ase na no an ye de ba kire ya de enti ama invitation no an ye yenya aya sam kase amai enti akire sa o mama beti brofo no je sa de na ngasa ni invitation no wanti ne ye eno sa da nchen a ade a friend training college ma teacher training college is na onina uko uramu pa ade kire wa ye kire wo nyina nye akoda na wo ko kire na ade no ho asem ene ade kire wo enye sebe ya ade obetumi a kire ade ama akoda na te ase ene ade kire wo ya kire wo teacher na wa ba suku mu hon ya kire wo no ma ebeboa wo na watimi atoa wade sua so da enti ene no eba sepe na se ko kire ade a otimi ka se media we de mintimi nkire ya wa teacher fo bebre a otimi ka se media we de mintimi nkire enso no we training college ebi ho no mo a otimi hu se stop teacher no obetimi a kire kura no a essence kwanya ya fa so kira kura de e ma no ti ase no na akoya teacher na adesoa ono ana se so dadwene ho che mefa kwa we so mafa kwa we so ama akwadaa no te aseɛ ɛnso aborɔfo no deɛ ne deɛ sɛtie ne sɛ wokɔ no wura hɔ a yɛayeyɛ ɛnɔma no agu hɔ sɛ ei ɛna ɛkwan a wobɛfa averages na wokyerɛ a sɛ deɛ wokyerɛ biara no yɛayɛ ɛkwan no to hɔ sɛ wei fa kwa a wei so kyerɛ akwadaa no deɛ no ɔnte ase.
Very succinctly put. And apologies once more for the sound quality in that particular video. Mikai said when we were having that interview, he was having challenges, which eventually kicked him off the interview. But he made the point before he left, though. And I think it's something that is worth considering. Again, as you have noticed, it's a multilingual platform, right? So as the teacher was saying, it's very important to adapt some of these teaching methods, right? In educating Ghanaian children. And also the part where I want to chime in is feeding the children, which I see the government doing a lot about. It's not hard at all if we have people with, their heads screwed on. It's not hard at all to feed children in Ghana. As a government, children in school, it's not hard at all. Why? Because we always hear about glut here and there. So and I'm not flogging a dead horse because, like I said, I know the government is doing a lot in this area, right? But something like mangoes, there's so much rot every year, they just chuck them out. And these are natural mangoes that are growing by themselves, right? So we're not even talking about doing anything extra over there. But what I'm saying is, it shouldn't be hard to provide eggs as protein for children, right? It shouldn't be hard to provide certain basic food items for children. Why? Because back in St. Peter's Secondary School, St. Peter's is one of the most dadaba schools you ever heard about, if you know what I'm saying. At that time, the Minister of Education's son was sons, two of them were in St. Peter's Secondary School. For the Minister of Education to send his children to a school under his watch, you know what I'm talking about. So St. Peter's was, very, I don't want to use that word because, but at the same time, St. Peter's was one of the few schools in Ghana that had a school farm. We had a school farm. To be honest with you, we didn't do too much to the farm, but it built our psychology about farming, right? Even though we still saw farming as whatever we saw it as, because for instance, the farm was in a town called Ntomim, right? And then one of the jargon for saying somebody was from the bush or from the village or something like that would be to say that they were from Ntomim, which is unfortunate. But at the same time, we loved the school farm. It was one of the things we loved to do. Like, this is how it worked. We used to go on weekends. So let's say on this weekend, Form 3 students are going. Form 3 and Form 5 students are going. Next weekend, let's say Form 1 and lower, whatever. So we get in the school truck and we sing our way all the way to the school farm. Hardly do any work. I'm telling you, hardly do any work. Because you are there, you do what you can do, and when it's time to go, they can't leave you on the farm because you haven't finished your work. So whatever we do, and then we go. Some of the students will slide and go drink people's palm wines and things that bring all holy for trouble. People steal people's pineapples and apple and all these type of things. But point I'm making is that it's not hard to have a school farm so that you have the labor for the school, for the school farm, from the people, from the students themselves, while learning agriculture. So you use that as a means to teach modern skills in agriculture to the students, who then provide and produce food for themselves. It is quite simple, I think. Anyhow, all right. So pedagogy, thank you very much, Teacher Safo Kantanka. Let's move on to our next social interest story. Very unfortunate story. The next two stories, very unfortunate. There was this guy called Nurse Richard. Nurse Richard, for your information, was a very lovable, light, productive young man in his community. This young man was picked up by some policemen, and this is another story that we're sending into 2026. I promise our listeners and our viewers, we will get to the bottom of this, because sometimes when we reach out to some people who should comment on the issue, they kind of look at what you can potentially do and they'll be like, listen, we are getting human rights lawyer Moses for Amoni on this case. And we're going to get to the bottom of it. If the government functionaries don't want to respond to us in a decent way for us to relay the story, we will have to bring it to them. And then they will have to respond to the public. Maybe you will not come on this platform to respond to us, but we'll fan the flame to the point where you may have to go to CNN or BBC to respond to some of these things. Back to my story. Nurse Richard was picked up by some misguided policemen who tried to extort him, according to eyewitness accounts. Now, when Nurse Richard could not raise the amount of money that these people wanted, they beat him up to the point of killing him. That's not the end of the story at all. They went to deposit his dead body in a hospital, claiming that they had found him dead by the wayside. Listen closely to this story and tell me if such things should be happening in a civilized society like we want to project Ghana to be. And this is why I'm saying that whoever is in charge, don't embarrass the government. Do the needful. Listen to the story surrounding the whole thing. It doesn't even add up. They said they found him dead by the roadside, wanted to just dump him there and go. And people were like, no, hold on. First of all, they identified him as a nurse who is a colleague. So their interest was heightened. They were like, what happened? And that's when these policemen started banging their heads together, telling all cock and bull stories. Eventually, it was established that he had been picked up by these people. He died in his care, in their care, because it was established that they had picked him up, right? There were people with him when he was picked up. People saw them pick him up. There were some people with him who got away, whatnot. And then there were people who also reported seeing them bringing him to the hospital. So from the point where he was picked up alive to the point where he was deposited at the hospital, if the police, the police people's story is that he was picked up, then you don't need any court. You don't need any other faculty but your common sense to deduce that they killed the youth. Now, after doing that, they went to deposit him like it doesn't even matter at the hospital and said they found him dead. This matter has been going back and forth. The last time, and there's this youth leader in the community. Again, I wish we had thought through this much deeper. I would have had you bring him on, or at least get his clip for me as well. While we're talking, if you can get it ready for me, please, that would be great. But if not, I will not, I know we didn't plan for this. But I want us to hear his version of it. And if you are getting it for me, get the second interview that we had with the youth leader. Right. So most of the information we're getting is from this angle. And I really commend that young man. He's been following the story very religiously. The last we checked on it, the matter was in court. And the person who the family has hired to represent them seems to be playing games with the police. Apparently, this person is also allied with the police. Kind of like a police lawyer type of person. He's the one who's standing in for Nurse Richard's family. And with the issue. I think they're trying to make this thing die a natural death. It would not die a natural death. Nurse Richard did not need to die. He was a productive member of society. He was a nurse who everybody that we spoke to vouched for as a very nice person. He's a nurse who would go to people's homes to go check on them and stuff like that, who would advise them what medication, advise them what to do regarding their health and all of that. And then you pick him up for Seadeya Okrawi. That's the part of the story that I left out. The charge that the police people put on Nurse Richard was that he had weed on him, he had marijuana on him. Let's just leave you to make the math, because first of all, even if he had marijuana on him, does that ask for being beaten to death after not being able to pay the money that he was being extorted of? And from eyewitness account, he gave the people, I think 2,000, or I think they asked for 2,000 cedis, but he only had like 1,000 cedis or 1,500 cedis or something to that effect. Yet they beat him up and killed him. Who are these people? IGP Yehonu, we will be coming to your door for this. This is a story we are carrying into 2026, I'm telling you. And we are fully aligned with human rights lawyer Moses Fuamoni on this. Because if we place a phone call from Dallas and you will not pick it up, Moses Fuamoni will walk to your door or just give an interview on one of your local stations and it will get you to react. How do police people kill a nurse under such stupid circumstances and just walk away into the sunlight like nothing happened? I don't even think these people have been interdicted. I think they're still drawing pay. And that's the pure travesty of justice. If you listen to the man whose son they killed, your heart melts. You don't know what to do. But it looks like I'm taking too much time on this particular story. Let's go and listen to the man, Nurse Richard's father. Very heartbreaking story, but let's listen to him.
It's a brand new sound for radio.
Nyame bedi wasema mawaja enso wo se yenso ye de ye be ya ye betimi ama aban ensa ka omo a omudi sa adwuma hunu no na one omo nsusu edi na yen enu ti na ye di sa nkomo yeja esanse obi ntimi wo ne ba enhwe no na wo mfa sa nsem hu we etse da yen ye ti ye emfa mba mbagi ne nkwa emfini nsem sa yenye ne sa na ija bibisa wo de ye tete ne se no mo se wakonom sabi wi ana bibisa oni wo ba ni wo ho no oni so yo bi a onum wi ana
masa omubua oni wa anye oko yamfo no oko 2020 and me fan say 5 years 5 years only doctor so na ye adwuma na papa papa see Morning so next ni go doctor no yet or opposition no be plan e come kura peace officers no na was somebody no doctor no o ka tell so akula wo no wi eti ni na di anase mo me atwina so na ahe ko bekunkum grofo o tinya yesa ko ya mo say na oda ba bi na mo na mo de ne ba hospital no kura no mo bua
enti na wo say ye hwehwe omo akira kwan ne atwe omo aso no na musa me say ye san so te se koso mi tio
enti wo mo samo mo kan nyina omo bua
eja
police officers there ana mu I say nka bibi samu na mu jia ho na ma bua so ne yamuni nkunu
na yet is almost so aging in same ska mama ne atwin sika fi ni phone so edi ho mo phone so ne ade nyina eno so ho asabote ni san
yan fo chama ne de wo ba bia o mo ko tia ska no ani police ni a ye send is kana man no o mo no ma o bibia anti
nice
onu na mesanka
ye be friend no enye ense wo woni number wo betimi di ama ye de ama ye di etiri
metimi asane no number
me pacho former me producer na oni ne kasa ya me pacho pi na asane nempo a another time ye be friend so say mo ye nya etiri di o esan say ye sem hunu ma ye be from back I'm from regular. Now, Asema yete no. Very, very, very unfortunate situation. Now, imagine so be a wawo ba wahwe na kodu school utie papa ya okase ya utun say ni hope ene ni be ya omo actually finishing na say wo ya ban ni ba utie office bi na wo na wo say wo hwe na yenya justice ema sai na wanye wuduma. Natural justice will find you. Anyhow, next story I hear, also another unfortunate story. And also into the year 2026. And also we are working with lawyer Moses Fuamoni on it because it's also a human rights story. It happened in the town of Fiaso. Now, let me say more about it after we watch the video. Let's watch this video.
It's a brand new sound.
Yes, me need trop. Because me say, men kwa, nyama chano, echenya, mi becha. Nti me need trop na atimuda na makwa konya ho asoken. Asembia maka bia tro do me need trop. From ha. Ana baby Ghana me say ochi kronfo kra na obono na odini ko police station wo ma ko treat no ansa na wo ma agye no na mo aba obi tru asa kina kotum without treatment nipa ne dedem and inside prof me new statement am koma ye police one etimi gi nipa ne tum
Mentiasia kra Tena mishika ya behwehwe mi ye
obo bi esum kekekra kwa na obi pa ya twitu aba obi nfa na idina komasa dina tum
na ijase obi anwu ye de we asaba say nyina mu no obi anwu ye
basa kese obi an sheda nya basa o nipa na mo take na boy ne pata no eno hu ehu anto boys ne ko ya so mo njai mo mpese mo jai no ana say nipa ba na omo ba na ma national security for no dwane omo ko police for the police for no ba yen police for na nka ya ma basa ma esa say ni asi no mobile mo anya hwehwe mu bia mobile force na mo so mo ba bi yusu abranka mobile na senka peace eya adwuma ana mo bisa ne asia basa baha bibisa ma mo atwe handcuffs mo twe handcuffs na mo pe boy ba ko dia share sase to boy no basa through national security for no emma yenum no sa boy no so mo hu se on sa tutu apie nto mo be pe na ache no na obi akotatu nan a wono ma wono sheto watwa ba obi no wono dia mo mpe na nche no
na
no na chire ya adwen ya se asen we dia je se aban IGP mpenyifo obi a okabia ewom bia no ntie man na mka bi man
mudi akoto mo MP ni obi oya an assembly member mo local unit of we say no mudi asemi akoto mo ni mudi ato ekrom ho hini
that MP that be
anamu ni mo
sa na mo yenye 2 years
let me be self first fiaso no ewo him. Okay, so another case of power being misused, right? These people show up as national security people and in the scuffle or whatever that happened. And from what the man is saying, there wasn't even, up till now, this is a story that I don't fully understand. Because the people who are supposed to give us the other side of the story for us to balance it out, they are just pulling back. I don't get it. But a man allegedly has been shot in the hand and then put in jail, put in police custody without any medical attention. Where does this happen? Where does this happen? And especially happening under John Dramani Mahama's government. These are some of the things I hear. some of the people who have been put in charge of certain things now. The president is one person. He can't see and oversee everything, right? And it's not everybody who has been appointed by the president, but you are in charge of something. Let the justice system work. Otherwise, the interior minister, now let's also hear your voice on this. Are you saying interior minister, I'm sure you have. I am very sure you have. Another incident is the Nkwanta incident. There was also unrest in Nkwanta where we also had interviews about. But obviously, we can't bring you all the interviews. We just selected some of them. But this is one that we want to bring to your attention because it's still ongoing. A young man is shot in the hand by supposed national security operatives. And instead of at least getting the man some sort of medical attention, make sure the bullet is removed or whatever, the man is allegedly put in police custody with the bullet in his hand. I'm surprised this person is still alive. Because with lead in your system for that long, I hear over 2 weeks at the time that we had the interview, and it's been another at least 2 weeks. And I don't think the man has been released yet. These are some of the things. And like you know, we're here to, like I said, I'm an ardent supporter of this government. Ardent supporter of this government, because I think that the cynicism must stop at some point. So if we see a government who is committed to doing good things for the people, of course, that's where our support would go, right? But we will by no means try to whitewash and sweep things under the carpet to make the government look good. We will never do that. Because the government is here to govern. The government is not here to be a saint. Certain things will go wrong. Sometimes it takes us who support the government to bring things to their attention so that they do things right. And this is some of them. These so-called national security people under Akufo-Addo's government, they used to piss me off with how they used to behave. So if we have a reset government, this is some of the things we have to reset. We can't have national security operatives walking into a village or a town or whatever, emptying shells into the air, allegedly killing animals and stuff like that. And then when someone tries to find out what's going on, get shot in the hand and put in police custody. Again, I don't have the total picture. We tried to call the man back. He did not pick his call. I hope they're not threatening him. I seriously hope they're not threatening the guy who spoke to us not to speak again. Because he was scheduled for a second interview when we called. First of all, he didn't join the show. We called, and then he also did not pick up. I hope he's not being threatened. But, like I said, it's a story we are carrying into 2026. Definitely the Fiasco story. Okay, now we'll go for a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll go for the political stories, and we'll bring you the rest. Please, don't go away. Stay right here with us.
Since 1994, crafting natural products with organic shea butter and red palm oil. All products are available on Walmart.com and Shopify, or visit our website at chrismark.com.
All right, welcome back. And we are going on to the last segment in the reviews, which is our political stories. Now, we did some some interviews, a whole lot of interviews, and we had a very hard time selecting a few of the political interviews. For the other interviews, there were not as much, so it wasn't such a big pool to pull from. But for the political related stories, we had quite a hard time selecting which ones should represent. But after a long while, we were able to settle on some of the stories for you. Let's start with this one, which features, what's his name? His name will come up. And he's a spokesperson for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. He's part of the Mahmoud Bawumia campaign team, talking about the need to sanitize the New Patriotic Party. Let's watch.
It's a brand new sound for radio.
To make sure that we sanitize the party.
And I like that word, sanitize, because I think that there's work to be done. But with people like you, I believe that work will be done. Now, finally,
that is the position that some of us have taken.
Great.
We'll bring discipline and then sanitizing within the system of the party.
I will invite you just to speak about that, please, at another time. We kind of rushed you quickly and you still made time for us. I will invite you again just to talk about sanitizing the party aspect. But before we go, Rasa, please tell me this. As we go into the primaries, what are your projections? What do you think is going to happen? And then after everything, whoever wins, what message do you have for the New Patriotic Party?
I'm not being too arrogant and I'm not being too over-excitement. Bawumia is going to win the primaries. He's the only candidate who can boldly tell you that I control 7 regions out of the 16. And
Really?
who said that in the corner? He's the only candidate. So over Lusu region, he will still get 40% of the total vote. That particular region. So he's going to win. So I'm calling on all our supporters that they should be mindful of the things that they will say against other candidates. Said the Baya, you are perform about Baka, and ordinarily, and you can say because of the both an internal contest in Echo. But we should be able to, and so I want to make a money booth. So we'll make sure that a bit of control. I said by 31st, you have a bit of breathing space. Let's make a party for Naboom.
Yes, very, very smart young man. Razak Abubakar is his name. Very smart young man. And he's part of the Mahmoud Bawumia campaign team. We spoke to him and he had a lot to say. Like I'm saying, all these videos now you have snippets in, and you can find them in full on our YouTube channel. And while you're there, please don't forget to subscribe for us, please. I'm begging you, please do that for us. And also, if you look right over here, you can see the QR code. When you scan that QR code, it will take you straight to our website where you will find our news in the print on the website. So thank you very much. All right. So yes, but he was speaking about the need to sanitize the NPP. And what really, what I admired most about his piece was when he said, let's watch what we say so that after the contest, it will not be difficult to reunite the party. They should put this guy in a responsible position in the party, because this is what we need to be hearing from the NPP. What this guy is saying has to be said by people like Justin Kodia. This is what we should be hearing coming from all the big wigs in the party. Or maybe they're saying it and it's being drowned by all the other negativities. Maybe. Because really, it's even a no-brainer, right? In a very short time, it will not be Mahmoud Bawumia versus Kennedy Japan anymore. It's going to be whoever emerges versus somebody else. So with all this animosity that's being brewed, how does Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia go back to Kennedy Japan a second time and ask him to come on his campaign trail after Abronya has said everything plus the kitchen sink against him. I'm just saying. But very, very astute statement from Razak Abubakar, part of the Baumia campaign team. Let's go on to the next story, which is from Hobson Adoye. We spoke with Hobson Adoye a few times. This time, when we spoke with him, he mentioned that the formation of the UP has nothing to do with them trying to get back at the NPP. He says they have full confidence in the leadership of Yusuf, thank you. They have full confidence in the leadership of Alan Chamatin, and that's what necessitated the formation of the United Party. Let's hear what Hobson Adoye had to say. Where's Hobson? There he is. All right, let's hear what Hobson Adoye had to say. He has a reason to be upset with the NPP. Osho to say, "Wow, you have a reason to be upset with the NPP." How do you react to that? Say the formation of this party was partly, if not in whole, to get back at the NPP. And what do you think?
Sabio or politically sound. Now they say, "Oh, Mama, amnesty, and I'm one." Nanka, I didn't want to see the American.
More troll it, Amran Sana.
And I'm a chatty. See a person troll letter class and give it to Matro. And I'm one. Me, but can no number of times he said, MPP, we get me day, and Yadia, we come back to MPP. That one, people should get it right. So, Alan Chamatin, we get day, Uncle MPP. No, and I'm here for more party. Say about wiki will be a person winning elections there. Over weekend parties in and now they are winning. And I'm one.
Right.
What do you mean weekend party back up now they are winning? I say weekend parties in Iran to me. And they winning. Now, well, MPP, we free MPP, and they have a before more say. No, because and a UP no. A MPP route, now, every never. A MPP it is our route. We want people to know, say, Savalu Suna, na a woman, a woman in the Karikamono, Sabuno, Aira, eti yen deba. Yes, we want members from them. Some members in Ababajania will say hallelujah. You want members from everywhere. Or more any politics. Yeah, there are some people. Another meeting, lawyer be. What you know on any party, particular party be so, but you know, or monitor a crab in Wahadi. Say, Uhunia, Opesu Huna, or Bajane, no gym membership card. I was so sad. I can't say. So happy to hear that. Or Casse, or don't be any party that by we know, or who said, you may be going or by Jenny as a party. So, and yet, target say, maybe I say, and I say, look, Ubia will not be a Sibiano, our ambition. Who aim when they say, Opesa, we say, Opesa, we say. We are Juma towards it, you get it. So, Betty, Ubia. No one nature, Alan Chamatin nature presidential ambition back in 1996. 1996, now Young Executive Forum. Emrantiene Mabawana, just a business people, or Musem Wusika. I know Muye say, look, I do want him call ya as I said, they support to Alan Chamatin near the Nukokodi president. That time, Apia Minka in his book, River in the Sea, Okan page 256, I was stated all clear. Was it say Alan Koyango BTJ Ukufo ko Winnie ko Beye Frabera for the party? Now, as he said, in Peniforche, Alan didn't question them. I don't know Kasa ya say, J. Ukufo, I need your penny on the one mapine, won't call the baby drew so any other. Tama Alan conceived that, you know. Now, Kufuor don't conceive which will be the president. Conceive which will be the president. And you know, what you ubia or no, na ye and say Ghana ebeye na Ghana is seen an issue.
Hobson Adoye for you right after the inauguration of the UP, United Party. Now, that's one of the major events that happened in the course of the year 2025, and which we also covered and brought to you, as you can see from there. We didn't stop at speaking with Hobson Adoye. We also went to go speak with went to go speak with Radio Culture. Yes, fair. All right, but yeah, we spoke with Yao Wabia Samoa from the United Party right after the inauguration of the United Party. The United Party, of course, as you all know, most of you know, I should say, it's a breakaway party from the New Patriotic Party. Let's hear what Mr. Yao Wabia Samoa, who is the General Secretary, I believe, of the party, had to say. Radio Culture.
Political entities, parties, individuals around the crisis of the day, the economy, transforming the economy. That is our crisis. And we are doing reasonably well with the politics. We are having transition from one party to the other. But the economy is killing us. Our crisis of the day is economy. People are finishing school. 500,000 youths are coming out of school with no expectations of transitioning into the world of work. There is no process. There is no guided path. There is no engineering of the process where 500,000 people are coming onto the job market every year, and there's no clarity about how they get into transition into the world of work. So we want to bring Ghanaians together around that crisis, united by the crisis of transforming the economy. That is us.
Okay, all right. Now this is why I wish you had come on TV, because there's some videos that I wanted to. All right, Yao Wabia Samoa of the United Party. You'll be hearing a lot more from the United Party in the year 2026. We have lined up a series of interviews with them, and we'll be bringing them to you. I believe you'll be hearing a lot from Yao Wabia Samoa, from Hobson Adoye, and also from my good brother, I forget his name now, but yes, we will hear from the United Party. Period. Okay, let's move on straight to our next story. We're running out of time really quickly. But our next story is from the New Patriotic Party. We are going back into the New Patriotic Party. And we all remember recently when Asenso Boakye, MP for Bantama, wrote a letter to President Mahama. And that letter was regarding the highway, that the new highway that is being planned to be built from Accra to Kumasi. A lot of people did not take kindly to that letter at all because of how we all interpreted it. Well, as Asenso Boakye says, we all interpreted the letter wrong. Let's hear what he has to say. By the way, he said a lot more, but this, I think, is the essence of that interview. Again, if you want the full interview, it's on our YouTube page. Radio Culture.
Opponent, because I've seen people, different people.
Radio Culture. Within and without.
No, okay, let me say my opponents and enemies, my political opponents and political enemies, because the opponents are the obvious ones, the Atofosins. No, the outside, they are the opponent.
Without.
The Atofosins, they are they are opponents. So naturally, they will oppose whatever you say. Yeah. Then there are enemies, those within the party who also don't wish you well, also they also use it. Yeah.
We're also
but
pushing this agenda against you.
This false narrative. But the letter is clear. In future, when my kids grow up and they read the letter, they will be proud that the letter that their dad wrote was one that is nationalistic, was one that calls for prudence, was one that calls for continuity of government projects. When you send this letter to any university student, take it to the universities, Department of Planning, Department of Civil Engineering, Department of Architecture, all these important infrastructure ministries, when they read the letter, they will be proud of me. I'm setting up an infrastructure hub, working with the KNUST to do proper analysis of government infrastructure for them to advise government appropriately. So this thing, what has come before us this week, will be a subject matter for interrogation at this infrastructure hub that I'm working actively with the KNUST to set up. So I'm already in the space. And Kwesi, keep in mind that apart from the fact that I'm a planner by profession, by God's grace and thanks to President Akufo-Addo, he put me in two critical ministries: Ministry for Works and Housing, Ministry for Roads and Transport. These are construction ministry.
Yeah.
So if somebody like me, I come out to raise very genuine concern about a national project, it's not out of place. Okay, people should look at the rationale behind and the analysis being made than using emotions. And look, last week in Parliament, I can send you a video of my intervention. When this road minister came, he said that he was worried. He was not happy that he looked at the data and he realized that a big chunk of President Akufo-Addo's infrastructure projects concentrated in Greater Accra and Ashanti. And he said that he's going to correct that. And I was saying that no, it's not by chance that it is like that. But this Accra and Kumasi, the population alone is huge, and the level of economic activity between Accra and Kumasi, that is what drives the economy of Ghana.
Now, this is one of the stories that had a multi-cycle lifeline. You know, it traveled from one news cycle to the next. And of course, I believe, gave the former minister the platform to give more clarity on what he said. A lot of what he said fell right along with what the vast majority of us think. But there was also a few things, that people did not too much agree with him, but at least he had the opportunity to clarify what he meant by that letter that he sent to President Mahama. Let's move on from there to the next story. The MP for Asante North was in the news for quite a while. He was also on social media for, some very good reasons. He was seen advocating very strongly for his people, especially the farmers in this region, in his constituency. Now, we heard news that he was planning to bring some of his constituents to Italy to go study tomato processing. Asante is a very huge tomato producer. Now, they are thinking of raising a whole industry in that area that would go not just from growing tomatoes, but processing tomatoes. They're planning to make Asante a tomato hub to supply the entire West African sub-region. If you look at how much jollof rice we eat in the sub-region, all the way from Senegal stretching all the way to Cameroon, how much tomatoes we consume, then you know that it's a very feasible thing to do. And that's also connected with another story that has the MP in there as well, which we are not featuring today. But mining, a certain mining company came there to do feasibility studies, wanted to start mining, etc. The youth said, no, we want to farm, period. And we want to grow our tomatoes at our water balance and whatnot, and process them. And this is why I was also saying that it's not hard to feed the people of Ghana, because if you're producing tomatoes On that scale, it should be easy to have such a house supplying all the schools with canned tomatoes. But anyhow, let's go listen to MP for Asante Achimina Ohene Kwame Frimpong speaking about his plans to bring some of his farmers to Italy to study tomato process.
About 2 weeks. Na yeah, in a company view Italy. Very communicative. Say, meeting with some of the tomato farmers. Ebeko na yakako more education in regards to growing tomatoes. I mean, putting it into production, turning it into ketchup, turning it into tomato juice, turning it into tomato puree and all that. Until the minimum say yes, indeed. Tomato economy big. Then beer, I mean, in our daily we say meals, we use tomato for variety of you know, and tea. Yes, production of tomatoes there. And I'm happy that the government of the day promised they will support us to get a tomato production line in the constituency. That agenda I will push, because at the end of the day, tomato is heavily used. If we are able to get a share of the national cake, it will factory or it will create employment for the youth in the constituency. I think say a good me a idea person me the farmers in be furnishing outside straight to Italy more about what we can turn our tomatoes into nearby constituency about
Ohene Kwame Frimpong, MP for Asante Achimina, speaking about his plans to bring some farmers in his constituency to Italy to go study tomato processing, and also the plan to turn his constituency into a tomato producing hub. Very, very, very laudable ideas. Thank you very much. Okay, let's move straight to our next story again. Actually, how many stories do we have left? 3? Every time to go for a short commercial break, when we come back, we have 3 more stories for you before we go. Please stay.
Since 1994, crafting natural products with organic shea butter and red palm oil. All products are available on Walmart.com and Shopify, or visit our website at chrismark.com.
All right, welcome back. And our next story. In our next story, we went to go speak with Charlie Sambrofo. We went to go speak with. We spoke with Dr. Nula Asamoah. Dr. Nula Asamoah, a economist based in the United Kingdom. We went to go speak with him after the budget had been read for year 2026. We specifically asked him about Dr. Kesla forcing decision to go engage with market women prior to reading the budget. This is what Dr. Nula Asamoah had to say.
Basically, every year, hardly would you hear people saying that, oh, things are better than last year, because every year when we read the budget, I'm always on radio, all the thought we hear, last year was far better than this year. Last year was far better than this year. So I was surprised to hear that this year things are rather getting better. And of course, if the market women who are selling the things are saying that the prices are coming down, and it makes sense because if you are buying dollar for, let's say, 15 cedis, and now you are buying the dollar for 11 cedis, then obviously, if you bought something $1 and you were selling it 15, now you're going to sell it for 11 cedis. So the price will come down, and that will reflect in how people also respond to the market. So it was one of the things I believe that it really made sense, economic sense. Sometimes people believe that, oh, we don't eat macroeconomic figures. But if you go to the market like this, and the people who matter are able to tell you how things have transpired from 1 year to another, then it gives you the exact thing as you should know, not just coming to talk about figures that people cannot relate to. If I listen to this, if I'm home and I listen to this from the market women, then I can relate that, yes, things are really getting better compared to previously.
All right. And come to think of it, right? And this is not the first time he's done it. He's done it before, even during campaigning and all of that.
Yeah.
What's the significance? Is it just showboating, or do you see some real significance in that gesture, going to the market to speak with the market folk?
Yeah, for me, I believe it's very significant. I don't think it's showboating because, one, people rather want to hide behind the computers, hide behind TV, and then talk. They really want to go and face the people that they are implementing the policy to face. So this is someone who decided that, okay, I implemented a policy last year. I want to see how it's impacting in the life of them. I want to talk to them directly, because how many market women will have the opportunity to sit on radio, on TVs, and have discussion and make their views known to the minister?
Dr. Nulov Asamoah making that point for us. And with that, we move from one doctor to the next. We also spoke with Dr. John Osai Papong. Dr. John Osai Papong was asked about oral. We all know about oral, Operation Recover All Loot, right? The significance of oral, is it a witch hunt? Is it something that's unnecessary? Is it just something to just, throw some shiny stuff at the audience, at the public, and just move on and then back to same old, or what is going on with oral? Here's what Dr. John Osai Papong had to say about oral. Let's watch.
Radio culture.
Yeah, because oral is really on the minds of the public. The public are expecting some things to come out from oral based on the very things that the NDC government promised. So I believe that if he's able to deliver on some of the key things, recover, he doesn't even have to recover everything, right? But I think that as his government continues, if he shows constant, recovery of some of these assets, if he shows that people are being held accountable, being sent to court, if people are guilty, and all of those things, I believe, would contribute to improving public perception when we test it again in terms of how well he's fighting corruption. But it's one of those issues that he cannot afford not succeed on it. People are expecting things to happen as a result of oral.
Yes, indeed. That is the take from Dr. John Osai Papong on oral. Now, our very last story before we go for the short commercial break and come back to you with the year in review of GH Reports. GH Reports, of course, as you know, is brought to you by Justice Mafo. Justice Mafo will be joining me very shortly with the year in review with his report. But before that, we have one more story for you. And this story It's one of our best performing stories, especially on social media. A lot of people really did check this story out, and it also shows the interest in these areas. We spoke with former Deputy Defense Minister, Major Derek Odro, who indicated that at the time, well, Major Odro has very interesting stories for us every time we speak with him, right? He always has something that we were like, oh, so this is what was happening at the time, and we never even knew, right? We just go about our day every day, we go and eat our banku and our teas and our fufu and everything, we're going around. And we don't know what's really happening behind those gilded doors where big men meet and signatures are required on certain sheets of paper. You all remember when Ghana served as the meeting grounds for West African leaders who were contemplating attacking Burkina Faso, or at least being used as conduits to attack Burkina Faso at the time when the coup was staged. Now, according to Major Odro, very bad idea if we had tried that. And of course, we didn't know, right? But on hindsight, we know now. He says if we had so much as raised the finger towards Burkina Faso, it would have been, let's just say, it would not have been good for Ghana. Let's hear it from the man himself. Let's go and listen to Major Derek Odro, former Deputy Minister for Defense for the Republic of Ghana. And that's our last story, after which we will bring you GH Reports, the year in review. Let's hear Major Derek Odro.
Radio. And go on, and one day there will be problems. Look at what happened in Burkina Faso when ECOWAS countries, converged and said that they were going to attack Burkina Faso to dislodge them and give power to the previous administration. Now, little did they know that there were other world superpowers who were backing Burkina Faso. All these chief of staffs and then the military heads converged in Ghana, trying to put things together to attack Burkina Faso. Before we could say, according to intelligence report, Burkina Faso had targeted all the military institutions, military installations in Ghana, down to even the coast. So if we had gone, if we had expedited our action, Ghana would have been in flames, because who knows who were supporting the Burkina Faso. So before you move in to dislodge somebody from his own home, you have to be very careful. Otherwise, one day you fall foul to the law. ECOWAS protocol doesn't allow interference in other people's country until you are fully invited, until the whole ECOWAS country meet to take decision as to the way forward.
You heard it for yourself, Major Derek Odro, and these have been 15 of the best stories from the year 2025. As stated, we strive to bring you the best of reporting, unbiased, unfiltered as much as possible, and of course, fearless. But then again, you also remember that in our bid to tell the story, we have to always strive to tell it well, which is why we don't just always bring it unfiltered. Sometimes it has to be a little treated just so we can bring you the very best of what we have. Now, in 2025, we strive to bring you unbiased reporting. We hope to do even better in the coming year. Thank you very much for your patronage. And once more, if you look right up here, you would find the QR code. You can scan that and it will take you straight to our website where you can also read some of the stories that don't get presented on TV or radio. In the meantime, thank you very much for your patronage on TV and on radio, on all social media platforms. The TikTok team, the TikTok audience has been amazing in 2025. We wish to see even more results in 2026. We wish to see more traction on YouTube and Facebook in the year 2026. Please help us to bring you more stories. Help us to do what we do by just subscribing to our website and by following us on social media, especially YouTube. Please, we want to grow our YouTube audience because YouTube has amazing video features that helps us to bring our TV content to our viewers in a much more sustained manner. So we will be very, very appreciative if you can go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And on whatever platform you are watching us from, please follow us, subscribe, and we'll be very grateful. Thank you very much for staying with us in the year 2025. As stated, we'll bring you more in 2026. I'll be back to wrap up the show, but please stay put. The next segment is GH Reports, the year in review with Justice Marfo. That's coming to you right after the short, very short commercial break. Don't go away, please stay.
Since 1994, crafting natural products with organic shea butter and red palm oil. All products are available on Walmart.com and Shopify, or visit our website at chrismark.com.
I remember when I first played to students, some of them would just leave the hall because my instruments looked obsolete. But then I kept exposing them to their own music. And now they are responding to it. After the reggae and the rest, they have time now for their own traditions.
All right, and we are back, and it's time, as I said, for GH Reports. The man Justice Mafo is ready to take it away. Justice?
Pause.
I know what you're saying.
Bibia wo ye jinam sa belaban.
Abelaban so ya na chia o. Etu kan wa. Who said no way to come one at All right. GH Reports. In the course of this year, what about so many stories for us? Be sure say it was very hard for you selecting just a few for the whole entire
medical chair you take on your for your subscribers influence on Facebook, TikTok, but yeah, baba ebras you see you go after 2025 you be born in top selected top 10 na niema bobua the good news bad news ni nyina no ye chirechire mu na amanfo no hunu omo mantimpo no ye chirechire mu no omo hunu de esi wo afi 2025 na de mididi kan yare hosemo a esi wo asantema mu a that's bro se bonsu the occupant of the silver stool, the second in command in the Ashanti kingdom. That's bro se bonsu to ye no na nanoma tena kunwa wa Asante mantemu Asante mampom e de betu dwa se omo de noise making ban e de ato kuro no nyina so na chirimfaso hene na nakwase free ye na de enen sentwerefo di nkomo na odi tu dwa se ban no de afede ya be ye free so enam saa so ma na nanom gire omo tu me so ye ban ne nyina free so a after say ye de that's bro se bonsu yakwakope na nakora bre wo ba mu omo de dotiye nansa ehhehye so abamu mpanimfo nyina bagi twi ewo Asante mampo krodua mu a na enya asemketo akra His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ne chairman Asiedun Katia NDC amanyokuo no na afi titiro MPP amanyokuo no so fam Justin Frimpong kodua ene na pamfo nyina so Henry na naboache mu nyina so ebedi ahim wo ho no mu ananya asemketo akra na yentie bra that's bro se bonsu toye no na yekope na nakra bre no ban no omo yi firi so se afedi obi a timi ye dede yo a ye de to honom se ya ban ne no ye yi firi ho yentie ensemo a nana akwasi ekuyoko e de to dwa obra na woni nsentwerefo di nkomo se ni hwuma ye krado a wombo sa video no emfa emaye
se asmampomemu e fa na fija ase na dwura de jama ase na pana ne hwehwere nyina ma ye nya yi ma ye dede asorefo den obia fa na bibia to kopim se ye di ewura kwa akoma na nanu eno nyame adum ye de nakọ ama no pai amamre se ye bia ya ye wi cheza afedie ofiri ye chen na de chichira bo anso ha ne sane no ti gina ha na mi gina committee no na mampɔhema na adwira hene pane committee ni nananom nyinaa na mu ɛda senam sɛsɛ afedie kwa mu da ho wa pɛso ye waye wa pɛso bo twene formation center bibia de nsa to so bia e kwan da ho monya ne sa man abribia bi ba no mo tia man na mu tie man so a de fata sɛ ye mo wa abra mo awie no ne de aseda ma ɛda wiase nyinaa se ɛda santeman ase ɛda Ghana man ase penifo ba ye nyinaa mampani for dada mienu president Kufo ne Kufo Addo no mampani na nkasa ne omo ba yi nyina aseda na de ma obi ase no aboa yen ne antimuso nti asan na bibia e boko amaye e da mo akese kitru no ko yewura oti ko so dumfo setu no bedani kuro ye ni me hu sampa ade obi na awie bi to bia wotie bia na hu no anu abo mu ase ama se da na se ne no odo a obi kire mampɔman e fa ni nua kuma na amampɔhene de di fa hene a na ma frɛ ne kura na mamre ne amani wo nyina itimi ye
na chimfazo hene ena yakote ne nka no na dasibre osebonsu otosumienu na ye na se ho no a wobra omode dotiye de di kan hyehyɛ so ena penten konfo be hye nkom se eda no de enya de nsu beto wode nananom akasa enya de nsu beto nanso ayie no kɔ ne nawie ya chi na afedie nsuo na ahyase a etutoi na penten konfo amfa na hongro so kura kuro no mu be ye beja ema ededaro so enne mprempren kura ye kasai yese penten konfo ahye nkomtro enya de a wone nananom kasa ye na no kura chi no obeka se de ntra nsuo no na omontie nananom na nsuo no to ye ne se akomfo no di ka begoro as open prayer omudi ka be bompaye ansa na dwumadi na hyase nanso nananom gina omutumi so de dwumadi no kura hyase ansa na nananom eba be yi wo mo apaye na yentie nsɛm a penten komfo edi tudwa obra na eye ne koso a oka se enya de nsuo ebeto wa ye na se no yentie obra na penten komfo one nsɛntwerɛfo edi nkomo ni hwuma krado ombo video no famaye okase nsuo nto ye ne da memenda kwasiada edwoada memenda nsuo toy kwasiada nsuo toy ne dwoada epetepeten na yankonsem foforo mo nsoso dada Alex a obi anim se ye frɛ no Alexander Oben oba asantema mpohano mo a wona ye NDC constituency organizer edema National Democratic Congress amanyoko no na nano Farmers Day Municipal Farmers Day no course wa ha no ono na yebo ni din se ono ye best farmer e wa asantema mpoha na no na nsɛntwerɛfoɔ no ne di nkɔmmɔ no wɔkyerɛ mu sɛ yɛ covid-19 yɛde kɔ deɛ wuo coronavirus ɛbaayɛ no ɛm sɛ mampanyini His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo ɛde lockdown baeɛ sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ ayareɛ no nteɛ te se na coronavirus baayɛ a yɛde lockdown baayɛ yi ɛna wɔ so wɔwɔ hɔ doboa na onya inspiration sɛ ɛneɛ aduane nso so ne adeɛ a nipa ntumi ntena wabra ɛnka ho ɛno nti no ɔbɛyɛ kuya kakra no wɔhyɛ aseɛ ɛna ɔhyɛ aseɛ yɛ nnɔbaeɛ hyɛ aseɛ no ɔyɛ mmoa fiti 2019 na 2020 na bɛsi saa bere yi na ne nua nso so na ɛyɛ regional minister Ashanti regional minister na ɛho nsɛm pii na akɔbaeɛ nanso yɛnkɔ hɔ na mmom wɔse lockdown no baeɛ no ɛna ɛhyɛ no nkuran ma ne yɛ sɛ ɔbɛyɛ nnuane ho adwuma na ɛno nam so bi ama nnɛ yi yɛahyɛ no sɛ ɔno ɛna ɛyɛ municipal best farmer ɛwɔ Asante Mampɔ wɔbrɛ na dada Alex ɛne nsɛntwerɛfoɔ di nkɔmmɔ no sɛ ne nhyiroma yɛ krado a wɔnhwɛ na ɔmbɔ saa video no ɛmfa ɛma yɛ wɔbrɛ na dada Alex ɛne nsɛntwerɛfoɔ ɛdi nkɔmmɔ
so boy nwanwa abase nyame nwanwa because me free this mani so say me person me yekua enye ne me free me days at school Anglican nyina na me start say me yekua na de hye me nkwa akese pa ya bra covid bae no me wo se wiase amansan nyina no sika awo edan awo bibia wo bia ntimi save you that time ade ane save lipa yaduane because yes obi anhye dem but aduane de wuntimi nya edi ti me hwe saa de ne ma me ka say no ahode a me di wura kua yem e wo se mitimi bie mu ma ne yekese ene ma me di bie mu ma ne yekese a ene yakopon adaro ma Mampɔ municipal baba baje best farmer we a stepping stone because anytime be am throw challenge ma me ho sa challenge we a challenge e say me yire me ho na me ye ekwa ni mu yi a metimi akomo anim pa enti medam panimfo ase em say vet na hodo aye fam kura be 9 num ni nsia ne ade aye fam mu nyina wie ye na no mu hu ni say me farms na me ye no eni di di mu a afiwe ye de sa abaso bo we ama me enya mabru ne mfom so yenti ameka say enya mabru ne mfom so ne say se me ka sika me di wura kua ye mu kirewa obi a woni dwetire no ntimi nye enti me fa sa kwanya we say so aka kire aban say ye wo mabru ni bebre ti se me a omo pese omo nya kua ya anko mo beye so omo hu ya agric officers na omo be hu omo bo omo modin yie pa ne akuafo aku ahodo atwa ye ho ahia na yetimi yi enum ana wo de edupe e wo Mampɔ ha se ye de sika ta wo machi omo so maye te se me a me so omo se ache kura ne mfie mi no mba beje best farmers award
Alexander Obeng, popularly known as Dada Alex, and Yakote in Canada. Migusu Ekamo say Amaniboy a GH News now so. After 2025, near course what the Chago Arahosem and Igisem the course war. And ye bohama near the Amamo Moamote, ye Moamohe, Nemo Moentimia Hina and Wahuno, the course after 2025. Ye Koyanim. Etiefone ahwefo be hye no nso akaya adum blue light ena eja to ho no mahomache bia na nya semketo akra eba adum eho nyina hye na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ne napamfo ba ho no mo ebesra adwadifo wo ho KMF nso so ye omafom de bia Ashanti regional minister nso so ye na fam de bia opposition fo nso so MPP fo nso so be ye omafom de bia na eno achi na Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly KM no omode krata ababontene issue statement se adwadifo na wo say ye evacuate omo ye yi omo nyina free ho na yakope ba bi foforo de momo na no na adwadifo ese dabi ho na ne yepe ye nko ba bia munsisi ha ya amaye na ye ntra ha ya na ebi suro se ebi ana omo anya dwane bi eno nti no omo se ba bi omo tie no authorities no mra na omo mesisi honom emma womo na omo ntimi ndi womo adwuma na edwadie nso so ntimi enkoso na se newsroom aye krado a won hwe na won bo video no emfama ye wo bra na adwadifo ewo adum blue light omo tie atua ewo KM so se nya de a order no omo de aba se yeyi omo afiri ho no obo beko enti no newsroom bo sa video no ma ye wo bra na adwadifo no ene nsentwerefo edi nkomo no omo tie atua no
asase wura nana wokwa de ni musa asase we si ayetisu yetu na asase ya wodia a wo hweso na da bridge kasia a bo awoma abo asase so yetu ya di se blue light a ye di power hase emu mama emu kuraketua wo mu anisia ni nyanka woduo ama ye kunu mu dwuma saya ama no mu so ye dwuma saya ya wo di nkrofo na ase ana yansa akoya no na wadawuluma bidi tie kasie boy ye wadawuluma ya towo ya se what to point to when you show eti asra wadawuluma so wadawuluma na nansa dansa yam kotodegu fom na kaka ahoma ye yasrabo na yasrabo kaka ahoma ye dia to wonka yasrabo lamra ya ba ya se the dancing aba just see you ho anda da bia ya dia manom ekodi die ya ma ya ni di ya dia manom ya se the chance ya jona chance ni ya bubu no ya bubu ni ya soja ni na babo we ya police ni na babo ya no di basiani ya sro wa bi baba bia no di basiani na be mama tiasia police fo atoja fo ya ba so mamsa momla ha mu ba munya ready sir mu be di yan na mo ba pamu yan sana munya majoin esa sabudru ya atodi adwene waso ya adwene ni so ni na ba yi dia mama mu ba dia mu ba hunu no mu ba hu dia mu hunu ya di ba dia kwa zube ya ka chira adwene na wa ba no wo ba ya na fenchem ya ne kwaso ya dia wo ka chira ya se mu ba pamu ba mu to lo kwa ho lo kwa ho na ba pamu ya na nya bia ya busamo ada ha se aya lo kwa ho na ya mi ya gina ya tia ama briti ka se ya boy eti anya ma hu mete anya ma ra ho wudi ma na josika ya sai ade atse ama ma tebe de tensen ada je ho eti ya di ankora aka egu ya fo ya do ya chiaka mo ba dia sa se we ade abadi pa ba ko no dey have the property no dey do so aka di papa mo yi na no adi ade agu ade abo ante ase enyo yenda enyo yatsuna na de tia afoka ho me da se
ya ma me ojo di fo ne yete wo bankaro se zube de nwi wo so ya dwene wo so ni nyina zuba anu nti no omo antimi ampamo maamefo no besi nne emrante ne mabaawa ne maamefo yi nyina eda so tete hormo mu didwa wachefuo nyina wo mu a besi nne edwa no yehunu de akosie na yenko yanim ebeto odwa se asantema mpom mabunu bi NDC amanyokuo no mu na ehohuru hiye pa na emabunu ni kire se ya nominate obi a yesi ede ne be ya MC na nipa no akwa ya asantini ntinya de omo pe no omo pesirimni because obra no omo bo nto aye campaign no ya hunu sa asantini no wo mse obeye campaign sirimni a yenim so obre ne moja ni ye campaign de ni sika support party no eye isifu yakubu ene imprimprin oye municipal chief executive MC e wa asantema mpon eno ntiro omo mpre miamfa asantini ema meye MC e wa asantema mpon na omo keka nsem ni bi ma na traso akire omo ko regional minister hokopa ne chew se omo disrespect no se e wo sa akwan no so eno ntiro se ni shuma ya krado wombo video no emfama ye wo bra na mmabuno NDC amanyoko no mu e wa asantema mpon na omo tie tua se asantini omo nominate na ye oba sa maame ye boa no omo mpe no ye hwe sa video no ni nyina akoso ewo afempinu ene aduonu no 2020 Na make I was says that videos in na akwa TikTok page na ube hu GH News now. GH News now. Ni nyina go TikTok. GH News now. Enko baabi a ni nyina wo GH News now. Na Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia amprempren wo bontoa se MPP amanyoko no mu delegate omo kwa kwato abama no abepre Frank Adiama amanyoko no as flag bearer. Edum PZ shey no ono so koye donation ema omo 200,000 Ghana cedis enka sika no 2 billion esa ma omo 1,000 bags of cement ede ma omo se omo fanshase na sika no ye de ama victims no se momfanye bibi kakra na no se sika ni nyina besi na ye hu ba bi afa ɛhɔ no nso so bia ya ɛhɔ hye ye nyina da so te sɛ de tie no a ɛnsesan bi amamu na ye wura 2026 yi mu de ye bɛhwɛ na producers yama ya homene so na yakɔ akɔhwɛ saa audit no yakɔ akɔyɛ saa audit no because ye nyina ye pre accountability sɛ ukodi dwa na obɔka na wa mu akonta na sɛ onyo mambapa into no saa committee na omotete ye ni nyina ne unions omotete ye Jesus ka we nyina o se hu ba bia ska ni nyina afa na no na Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia enka ne vice president ekoma omo 2 billion esama omo 1,000 bags of cement na newsroom ya krado a ombo video no emfa ema ye wobra na chama wontumi omo nyina gina na chi na ode ensem yi to nsentwerefo ni mu
asɛmdɛ nkɔhwɛ so wɔ TV so na mehu sɛ adwom ha nyinaa ɛhye na meda a mentimi nda nnipa ɔmo ahwere ɔmo agyepadeɛ nnipa ayɛ adwuma ha 21 years
ɛboro saa koraa
agyepadeɛ nyinaa hye
sidɛ kopɛ
ɔbɛyɛ dɛn na wɔadidi ɔbɛyɛ dɛn na wɔhwɛ ne mma na mese na membra ha na membe shemudi membe mamu yako na meso membo fire service so omo abaso mehu se omo ye adwuma pa ye ka se nipa mienu a omo wo konfo no chise na me pese me bo omo abaso ye nim de esi ye nipa se eyedum so ebi mo se election bebre so ye pese omo ye if you know, you investigation. Who the baby is here. They who are said you be who can be I be fast. That orange ma be see MW. Na ye pese ye tamochi. Adwin amodi abase mu pese musi sa market yi mo amusino minum ye adwin pa. Amen. Obi a na jise odaso ha. Ye ma momoa minum se aban su beboa. Media me bae me de mesika bottom kakra 200,000 Ghana cedis. 2 billion. Okay. Na umudi atremo. Inti we time chi baby come on akami. Baby come on akami. Inti ye time chi sa. Mo page up you. Na mo bounce back.
Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia ena yetene nkano wobra adum pizza tejato mu na okoye omo adoye ema omo 200,000 Ghana cedis esa mo 1,000 bags of cement koye omo sa adoye no na 2025 na mu na Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly KMA assembly members honum presiding elders honum nyina ekoto aba omo nyina koto aba na omo yi eye Kinzuba Richard Ajimai omo nominate ni yi ni se ono ena KMA no omra no medi o manimu as KMA boss anase mayor na omo koto aba no nsunsan so ba e na kire se 100% omo nyina to aba na ma papa no omo nyina ba akokura nyine ho amfirim ena omo nyina de omo kokoro motiko tintim so a ade ma Kinzuba na Kinzuba nso so ade nsem to dwa hyebo ehye de otu okuru na obrare nwoma so tumfo se tutu abebi otoso mienu His Royal Majesty ohye ne bose de otumfo beka no eno ode be ye adwuma se opese osi ginaye bia obedika akomanhia akogye futu ansana wasi ginaye no eno nti no kumasi kurupon ni nyina anta nachi se de be ya obetumi de adwuma so ede ama kumasi kuru no na newsroom aye krado a wombo video no emfama ye wo bra Regional Minister Dr. Frank Amwakohene ehye no ebo na baso se Kumasi Mayor Kinzuba wona ubeda kuro no ano yentie nsem wa Kinzuba editu dwa hye kuroma ni nyina abo ehye otumfo nso so bose ubedi dwumaso ahombrahye mu edi abo Kumasi mpuntu yentie bi
Abam Secondary School for Omomoto Emedepa Omose Obrapa Ejani Rapa me brem ho ase na metie futu na masre mo se munyina mota mechi na ye nyina yemfa akudo adwuma no menko a mentimi nye adwuma me ba bayi mapanyi na ase se memeye na so me ya motumfo enti abre ne da nyina no me de ani de ese efata be manananom na me de otumfo so akwanche ade adiduma me gidi sesa mo kama ho na yesa adwen na ye nyina ya de ko bankroma me pensu Kumasi kodue eni bedane kaka fani se onyame benam menemoso na ye manfo eso enya adwuma ayo ma ye Kumasi enyoma ayedada no ya sesedi na ye emono na se da chibi ye gina wa se de maka kire me mane se ombetime de omo se si ombo se omba na di university ho wase no ye se timi de ye se si bi bo se we so ye de ba Kumasi Betumania ni hu bi ba mi fufu nyina wa bi ba mi ana me da me so ase
nipa yetene nkan ye KMA boss Kinzuba obra yede ni siso to abama no 100% krojen ba kokora nyino ho amfirimu na ode eboshe ahodo to dwa no se boshe no odi so a Kumasefo mo na monim se oni so a mo na monim mahuna dwuma papa no oye wo Kumasi oduru adumu a mahuna dwuma Kinzuba odi wo adum adwuma papa na ebo no enya sem ketewa me de da bia dum nam te me nam adum saa anti me hunu de ekọ enkane no a ka nam kuromu a jesa ochiachia ho ochiachia ho nipa etwam omo moteko aho di dwa nyina je ochiachia ho na wo bo ho ba fira kromfo ho so ene de onam free otibi kura wo fon na de nam nso first no a phone kura wo beduro ba bia wo kura na phone nka ho yanko yanimai ena no ada na China mo e wo santasi jato mu enya sem keto akura fire service for hwie nso oguso nso still ne jadam eno na Kinzuba Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly boss wode ko tu dwa wa asiese o mamko se monka fra nemom ija no ahye no nanka ibetimi aso ano senka adwumayefo e wo China mo ho no motimi nyantete ye bi wo kwan ya yefa so use fire extinguishers a enka no betimi aboa aso jana no anka intimi nshin kodrum pempenso a ehye koduru ye no na China mo is obeka ya eja to ho no mo na nya sem keto akora timamufo nyina yeko prehesenka ometime dum no China for yusu ene hwen ha edan na me hu se ne China for yusu e ma ne mema nyina do mo se gomuti a omo su twa jado anya asem keto akora na KM boss ko share omo bo se obehwe se bibia be ko so tote last week ya na KM boss yi Kenzuba issue statement se afede omo kwan omo betumi asesi mo no foforo bio eno nti no wasan ase ama mo permit se mo skara nko ade a mo nsan ko si ne bio na China mo issue ye ya Kenzuba ko hoyi no ne nsentrofo di nkomo no de nsemi nyina eto dwa se fire extinguishers ebe ya ma obi bia akoku ahodo nyina se mo be hunu se ne yesi de fire extinguishers edi dwuma na eja no start se hye wo wadwuma mu hono mu a ohunu kwan a obefa so a obedum no na nkoba se eja na hye wie ansa na wakofre firefighters for se omomra eba sa eboa mo madwuma no so kra eso tema omo ni instruma ye krado a wombo video no emfama ye obra na Kenzuba kasafa ye China mo no a ewo asante mantemu santase obra na odensem tudwa yentie bi
Nevia the investigations nebe maye no ebe maye hu anamuntu a yebetu a yede besiaro nti the ebe ye say ya direct the regional fire department say omunye investigations na yentimi nya investigation abekwa omugusu edum ja no nti sise de ye pa say ye pese ye breja na se yedum ja ne wia investigations ne be che de sie na afia hwe be eja ye force majeure obi a nsha say over by investment agency nti ya hangwa ne ja ehyewa abochi na accident si agency nti over by investment atoye nchem de enuti na insurance wo enuti na oba ye si fire certificate tire ma auto fire extinguishers tire ma odi EPA kata omo nkata ni na nemum from so kaka me fi say ba ye say enye enough say wo fire certificate and enye enough say wo fire tender na emom who was anomana woni odi ye woni omo yedwuma no chi omo ni use eti na me ogiri say mante no no omo wo knowledge on how to use the fire extinguishers appropriately abianka omo teme brass nti ebe so woni wo fire extinguishers nya say next week enye nsheso ba wa ba mbonti fire service for ba wedwuma mu a na was emre na we work na wo no o ma che o how to use the fire extinguishers
Kenzuba ene yetene nka no bra China mo santasi jato mu na ye kwanza mfufuro mu ensem 2025 ensem wasi papa na 2026 de na eba na de ene bubruja because January ya MPP for kwa akoto aba enya senketo akra Dr. Brandon Champon enkane one na ye minister responsible for food and agriculture onokra latter part of the administration and ye de no koka ho koye sa ye de no ko sa ministry no na ye akoto papa ko krowa ya okoto obode begu nkran se mumfiri tachima na mumra meto body na Brandon Champon so AC akan ewo MPP omo presidential primaries no osi akan anya asem keto akora eguzu ebo nto ase delegate mo hunu mo bona mo nto abama no na enkane mampanyina be di akire Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia so guzu ono so bo nto ase ye nto abama no Kennedy Akompro ko Japan so bo nto ase ye nto abama no na mabunu bi a omo asante mantem mu ha a o matikuo Asante Regional Youth Organizers Emma MPP emu ahodo obeye 60 over 60 ena ada ayi omanim se omota Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia chi na omo hwe se January no dura 2026 no omo kwakoto obama His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia na emu honum na Dr. Brandon Champon kototo bombo se economy na se ye no na Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia economic management team no oda no na no ka ho bi sikasem no eno ka ho bi na omudi ntwo na no na mabunu no abede abetu dwa se Dr. Brian Champo kasa omudi ne ho yawo efri se ono ananum nsem bi ene ne ye bi eka ho be na MPP edi ntwo eka ne ukoto hotel a eyo ma ne dia wa utiska kotoe wa ene wonum nsem bi eka ho be ena MPP for edi ntwo afe 2024 na ka kum ya jene kwakuo num obra na mabruyi ede ensemu etu dwa friends entwerofo wasantemantam Kumase asokwa omo party office Dr. Baumia party office no yentie semu a kwadwo pipim ede tu dwa obra na won nsentwerofo edi nkomo yentie bi
ya tu no say ebedi nkunim 2028 ya efiri yan makun edonti yetu ya mo siwa akofom any form for na di nkomo geto so na yakọ edwom na yakọ biaba na yakọ ye ne domo akasa de omo kan nyina ne se NPP and party be dey yetu say ebeti magi to me 2028 the African mandate for someone ehe di baba akọpe Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia ne amfa na bra yes say Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia and ye kasa wo man Ghana ase see the most popular person in the NPP contest is here, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, obviously. Because the kind of Juma or party mu in fear Makuma Kudunsia, 8 years as running mate, 8 years as vice president. And indeed, Papa Nim Nada Wakana Fana Babia. Mimi constituency Tafu, Omata for Kabata for Babu. It is Tafu Mani, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. This is what say about New Year, on the 1st of February, say you are Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia and flag bearer. Yeah, but what Tafu say a ton. And the best party ma, and my Bruno, they say the other cost for no about Chabao, where party by Nitino. And then in come on, neighbors so go rub off no dia. And I'm saying, your person did 2 million men is for 2028. Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, and the Balloon to get my way, I can say, the kind of Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia was no change. Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. I'm afraid.
Kodo pipi no o se Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia no mo bon to ade ma no am se video no na am se e change ye na ye konsem foforo mu a ye da so gina MPP amanyoko na mu ehuru pa 2025 abrante bi a o wa santemantam ha no mu a ye nim so ye politician no so ye comedian no because nsem bi obeka bi esere ankoye hyere nso so ehye bufuo poyando itru tron na pampa mu no me nim sa panso so poyando enwi ba kokura ni ntri na afi 2025 mu na chama wuntumi Asante regional chairman of the New Patriotic Party national security for kofa no omokoche no se omo ye hwehwemu bi na omo hia no ena omokofa papa yi na eno achi na poyando papa ya meka na asemi ni tron obaya nsentwerofo nhyiamu press conference edi tu dwa se eye Ibrahim Mahama eye His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ni nua ketwa Ibrahim Mahama ono onye mayuni onye politician Ibrahim Mahama de enko businessman enzo poyando beka se Ibrahim Mahama na shasia sa arrest no national security for ye no Ibrahim Mahama ono ene use sa government machinery no ono na ama yakoso acha ma wontumi anu sei efiri ho na abesi sa brenye unya hu no ehwehwemu bia sa papa no otimi ye ya okura sa evidence no na Ghana hana na msembra na nya adwuma ka wasen kasa kwa no ka o mafanda dada samu beka ya poyando na ye ne na ye interviews da na eno de na mse ye behind the scenes o ka kire se oni ye interview bi na ye NDC for poyando na yentie ensemu a poyando edu dwa wobra na ose Ibrahim Mahama ena wuntumi chia no o hyase no yentie kakum yaje ne kokonum poyando teze woko as regional secretary of the New Patriotic Party in the Ashanti region.
Ana wopese what ɛno ti ne yɛyɛ kyɛ ma wontumi saa na adan ɛde ɔtankuwa ɛna ɛde kyɛ ma wontumi atum ɛde ɔtan ɛne nitan ɛna aba nipa brɛbɔ mu a ɔpɛsɛ di nia ɛmrɛ fam na the whole Ghana no obi ankɔhyɛ friend say Ibrahim Mahama instruction ase yɛ nyina yɛate ase yɛ ho bi sɛ now the prime minister man Ghana mu no Ibrahim Mahama we are supposed to control to his instructions advice amedema Ibrahim Mahama ne said emre yɛ ninka so Ibrahim Mahama emre ninka so and the instruction would be national security operatives so omo make chicha ma to me send your bella wo chi no no demo a wo betima ko fa ne concession send your friend is saying nantwie ni bi anka ne to what you say sa pepepe ena anka konfo so ne nsam na ya we ho sam ena ekoso e ya we ho sam da me din catch MPP for MPP penifo mo sorry MPP penifo mo sorry party kakraka MPP Ashanti regional chairman ena NDC 4% wo mo ebre na se na yenya breach ma wuntumi asise ya na tese ye party no ene de ba fom
Poyando ena yete ne nka no o se Ibrahim Mahama no ope concession bi mining concession bi eno nti no ma national security for ko hunu na chama wuntumi ne chama wuntumi huna ne hanyina tutom nipa nka nafono nyina bomma nanim nyina ayema se ne sort yenim di ntra ende je se omo abekirem na afi 2025 di ensem CEO 2025 no mano ene poano ekro bi di poano ni nyina so asante bantam a na nka menteda farmer bi okuani bi a oso ofri Dubai na aba na sika wako Dubai akobọ branya nyina oso de be farming na afi ko wi ase wo se wo de ye atosode garden eggs ene pepper tomatoes ni nyina wo ye na nka ja planting for food and jobs ya ban bi de ba ye na nka ja ko ogusu a o tre na shemu a na sika oso de wura mo ye 60,000 Ghana cedis enka ne sika 600 million na wote hon mo hunu de esi ye de free so bete ba yire homam o se galamse fo bia ba asase no so o mo se sika okọ apia asase nim ama o makonfu ntuma asase na asase na ma mfude nyina ase ye ne enokwa ye ko hweye o madua asase no fa togu ama makoni ntos arhodo ne nyado anka ohia nsuo no de aguso no ya sensuo na ma ensuo na ese yi no tea as a dish chocolate drink no na okuani ya frana nana jamfi yana na kasa GH news na radio culture yana na di nkoma ye interviews tago obi di be PM se wono na LED sa operation no echiri kura adu jamfi papa jamfi esa be boy so bo sense ntwofo yeso ye ka ho bi ye ne galam sefo nyina na tu so ne because ohunu di ntra ye frɛ no a wase ye sa kɔ frɛ tago no nso so ka ho na ka kum ye gene kokko num papa yi se watiti ne bobdom enya 600 million de ye farming na se aban no regional minister Dr. Frank Amwako hina anhwɛ ho ampe eye solution amano a ene omo nyina galamse no omdo ho bajim ka kum ye gene kokko num we ne ye story a etwa to kra na ye de amane bo no nyina si afi 2025 de course wo ni nyina no ye de asi enti no se ni instrument ye krado a wombo video no emfama ye wobra na okuani no ede ensem to dwa se waboka 60,000 Ghana cedis galamse fo no mfamre no
mo bukwa se e Ghana asem to woni buafo ntino ene efombian obi anya bio ene ne nya de ho bagim wo adwumafo mu a yenya de ho bagim because me ba be ya akua pa plante aboka asesika empempema toto machines e dey afu no kwa brand ni gold e ba kofo gold enema we edika bana mtiko boase amom nya number emitimiti ba kwa e further emika kwa menya 30 million e kwa mnuza se meya investment kwa uma esika mu nya no emenya enimdia mkofa Dubai emkota Dubai efienum na mkoko sua kwa mfaso e afu ho no emiba enso bia ni hani so de adwuma but metime tuo nya nsuo ama opebre nyam de ayefu ama ba emikromo na msopra o munema ema wa be se me nyema nyina e police fund de ema wa mane because some de ubo mane kwa nan ko e fi se omo mo betutu enema no e police fund de animu e betutu enema no omo sa de omo mo sa betintim sa no mu ni kura anya ni sei empanifo anya bia eminim se enenka nyama gina information so aka che yu so obia fa no ho nye ekwadwuma mu na mi hu obia abrante bia so fa no ho nye ekwadwuma bia mu se ebre na ebregu ewu kwa iska kra wono de shema e kana be sabo nti se momani abrese youth yenya adwuma na yesakua no ye mokro no yetim mapu opebre menua enyadwa ne moko ene aburo ebra medua mu no ebetima so medi ho enyina ebatnya bofo nkwa na me yeyo eme ye nyadwa ne na enimde chese me famo mako mako
Mr. Jamfi mano ne poano ena yekopi ya yede sa amane boy nyina ebre ma obusuafo yebeda mo ase na yama mo afishia pa afi 2025 se eni edi ni ye se eni edi ni ye yebeda mo ase ni ada nyankopon se kwamu ya ta stories nyina ni abo ho amane ede amamo na so ehye mo se afi 2026 the eto for mo anabu eto for mo yama eto for mo na mote yebesom na yaso so pa just mama de.
Fantastic reporting. Thank you very much, man, for justice. Now, what's the point of the 3 1?
I didn't come. True.
The man that was you. Now, next week, we shot there suggestions say you take your week off. They from planning year in general. And you are very likely say next Saturday will not be here. Let me put that out first of all. But you're planning how to roll out the year 2026 in a more consistent and a more user-friendly way for our listeners and our viewers. And it's the next Sunday when we are more fun chain, but we will be planning for the whole entire year. And when we bounce back the Sunday after that, you can be sure that you will see the gloss on the whole thing. All right. That was Man for Justice. Yeah, for a very short commercial break. When we come back, we will bring you Arts and Culture Year in Review. Best kept culinary secret. Okay, and we're back again, and it's time for Arts and Culture, the year in review. Let's go straight to our man, Synergy, as he brings us the year in review for Arts and Culture.
Synergy All 3 fingers in the air. Itamu chuku, chukum tele boy. Namemao, an introspective analysis and review of 2025. Certain stories are ever told. Janebiana review. Let me take you back to the memory lane. I think there maybe I say right from the hotspot. The first one has to do with TGMA, Telesur Ghana Music Awards, for the first time. 2 people setting records for themselves and making names for themselves in the historic moment. I believe we say this award scheme is the largest, so far, the largest award scheme in Ghana. All the people in the creative arts space, First one, in May, King Promise winning the Artist of the Year for the first time. Big up to him on that. And then the other side has to do with Stoneboy. I say, boy. Well known so for winning Reggae Dancehall Artist of the Year for 10 consecutive times. Winning that for 10 times. And it's a plus to him. Stoneboy, boy. If so, refidia TGMA, and near my told you, Bako and Nami, and so, Let's move on to the other story. In the news, and also one thing I put either is it fear and panic, and I said they also funny but about religion there, now controversy in the discussion, we handle that with a soft heart because here no beer is himself. Starting in the month of August, a new room, branch beer or no begin a about Noah claiming and saying that there soon be a boom and God revealed to him as to whoever, and I said that God now can watch them the reason you know say or be say we are say with issue to about the ark as it happened in the Bible, Genesis 9 verse 11 to 16. But we after all that, he made a promise on say we are see beam with issue. But so one can would trade Nintendo, a bono whatever do a bontina would dear chile, and people obia as you through as you through.
Noah, Masudaya, God up, and I'm missing building Ark. It's the Ark Nana building. Ark Nana building. Kakra, free beer, 2 pairs. 2 pairs. By 25th December, na me we Ark. And I'm sure Baba say we are saying, to me catch it up. When him say, hello, I'll go. Hello, I'll go. The Aknana missing. Aknana missing. Aknana missing. I can't jump say when you're ready. I'm 25th December. Na me be
on 25th December, we all thought Senka ABC now so Messi so a bonoa. You who now on stage so with Sarkodi any other artists or more Obi I was inka and Yakopa so Diana dear. Oh yeah, then was our junction also. Oh papi, meaning you were just chasing clouds, and this is all about. Let's move on. Yen to us while history is being made. Don't forget this year 2025. Rapaholic was a back here 10K Sarkodi took the Rapaholic concept down to Oseokrum Asante Reggae, no, of course, sell massively, and we are all hoping, next year going forward, we are going to have another amazing moment like that. What history is being made, the end to us, the uncle Blacko Sheriff was the Iron Boy from Konongunzongo down to the memory lane and into the limelight. I will be from Destiny now to the Iron Boy. So, Renfi, and Nasa Okradia. Winima Blacko Sheriff historic Apple Music dominance. The first Ghanaian artist that will occupy the top 12 spots simultaneously on the Apple Music. Still on the other stories, a year review and Niema AC and I was one with their air call is on the under junction. I hear Comfort Grada, Evangelist Mama Patas to how ABC Afreni Biano. You renfin the month of July. Back and forth with court cases near the other no of it, a bubono Emma court. Essential 15 good years imprisonment. Ni how you know say or you guilty of defrauding people. Sika Gary or see Woodina A2. Ni a real soon fee that same month give us moment of sorrows. Arehonqua on 26th, the death of the legendary Dade Lumba. Na no ne de nke wo ne de nke nyina yenim say it happens. Na nke ho asem de nke on the other chapter by the controversy surrounding the death, not only the death but the widow rights between Mami Akosua Sewa and Odobroni. But finally to everything on 13th December Yet no compare baby the table call. But the controversies, any other stories surrounding that in India, me sure say as people are also hoping say next year the elder sister Ernestina Fosu and other people are Musu Huni say they will also perform another funeral rite for the legend. Yeah. Despite all the talks are a buyer, a yenam ko ye near man no still no yakwa say that lumba. But ye rain so ensan soon fee say May and so it's a key, one of our legend, Dada Kedi. But on it was on a peaceful note. And rest in peace to our music legends in the high life space, for their impact. Let's move on to the other one that has to do with was it a Ben Shatawale on in August. You all know the Yoko incidents now happen here. And the car Kokoto Lamborghini Honsen Shem Adanya as a fraud issue be now I amounted to $40 million. Now you tracy and you who say that yellow Lamborghini no a Honsen Sem now be pay pa as here. But another dear we had them crown a court case any you consider mutisimo Nanki dear Emrano Yadiba Koto. Let's move on to other story right from the camp of Shatawale. A year of grace. Any other supportive things are about on his side has to do with. In the month of December, from the 20th to 21st down to the 25th year, it was everything about from the GT Bank and to other events. No sounds to be PMU Simfosu in the month of 20th and the 21st, everything was super fantastic. So as Simfosu to Cassie was also massive. Over there, we shot a wale. Let's move on and drip on to the final story right here at the hot quarters with me. Synergy has to do with this one. Kimpaluta Makoma any Asidorano. Despite a successful journey in the music space, counting it down to, let's say, from 2024 to 2025, even though I know share you man say any, but this last year and this year has been a fruitful year for Kimpaluta. Ne London concert of Coco Boy and Anki Face and can never be my peace with your man and I bring you a mini ya netikukum. One wine send me for me. No Jina baby now ye near my enquiry and near Kimpaluta to sue be the ma or
I don't give a fuck about you, I don't give a fuck about you. Why? Why not say what's the yeah. You don't give a fuck about me, I don't give a fuck about you.
For what reason? And I will perform it. Nanka, oh yeah, mad conscious about whatever you are doing now. And Kadion could be your event, I said, yeah, in Kefa Hobay, but Kimpaluta say on chin, and none so another one a buyer this year. As I give to you, all these stories are a very massive on the media space, the talk of town, and right here with me, Synergy for everything inclusive for art and culture. Let's roll it on for next time.
All right, so we have that report. What happened in the entire year in the area of arts and culture from Synergy. Let's also go quickly for agriculture, and then we'll be rounding the show up. After this, remember, we're bringing you the lecture from the Rastafari Education Committee. Today's lecture is delivered by Dr. Kujo Pongwadi. But let's go quickly and bring you agriculture. Before that, please stay put. Don't go away. We will be right back after this short commercial break with agriculture. Don't go away.
Since 1994, crafting natural products with organic shea butter and red palm oil. All products are available on Walmart.com and Shopify, or visit our website at chrismark.com.
Agriculture.
We are rounding up our agricultural broadcast for the year. And for that, we did a lot in the course of the year, but we'll select a few topics and talk about those ones as they generated a lot of interest after the broadcast. For this particular broadcast, I'll do a recap on how to make organic liquid fertilizer, how to make garlic spray for plant protection. We will also talk about 2 interviews that we had with some farmers. And then finally, I will also touch on vanilla production. Vanilla production was actually done by my colleague, Mr. Ati Moses. He's currently not around, but I will touch on it briefly before we end this session. So, like I said earlier on, I'm going to start with the production of organic liquid fertilizer. We did it in the course of the year. I think we did it about 2 or 3 times. Because there was a lot of interest, it generated a lot of interest. So for liquid fertilizer, what we need is, you will need a barrel, preferably a plastic one, water, wood ash, and then leaves of different plants. Like they say, the more the diversity, the richer the fertilizer. So if you use, let's say, a champo alone, you get a fertilizer which is good enough. But if you add other leaves to it, each leaf or each plant brings its own qualities to the table. So the more the diversity, the richer the fertilizer will be. You just have to get the leaves without a stalk, a lot of them, and then you put them in the container. In our case, the barrel. You press it down, and then you add more until you get about 1/3 of the container. You add about 2 handfuls of wood ash, and then you add a shovel or 2 full of poultry manure. Once that goes in, you fill it with water up to the brim, and then you stir it. The process takes 8 weeks to complete. But if you are in dire need of fertilizer, you can start using it by the 4th week. But yes, once you mix the whole thing, you cover it, and then you stir it every other day. We kept on harping on the fact that because of the poultry manure, the stench is really, really bad. So it would be better you do it in your room, in your farm away from your neighbors, so that the stench will not be a problem for your neighbors. Once you do that, like I said, by the 4th week, you can start using it if you are in dire need of fertilizer. Otherwise, you just leave it for the process to continue. By the 6th week, basically everything will be okay. You take out the chaff in the solution, and it's left with only the fertilizer, the liquid fertilizer. But there will still be a little bit of the stench in it. So to do away with the stench, you pour it into like a basin, a tray or something, and it stays in that one for another 2 weeks for the stench, for all the stench to get out of it. And when it comes to application, we said in earlier videos that as it is now, the fertilizer that you've produced is like really, really, really strong, concentrated. If you apply it directly onto your plants, you're going to kill all your plants. So we have to dilute it before we apply it. And the dilution rate depends on the type of crops. If it's a big, like tree crops and stuff like that, the recommended dilution rate is 1:2. When you take 1 gallon of the fertilizer, you add 2 gallons of water before you apply. You apply it at the soil level. It can actually be used as a foliar fertilizer as well, but mostly we do it at the soil level. If you are using it for something like vegetables, the dilution rate is 1:4. You take 1 gallon of the liquid fertilizer, add 4 gallons of water, and then you apply it to your crops. So yes, I will end our session on the production of organic liquid fertilizer here. We're going to take on the next topic. And is the production of garlic spray. Organic garlic spray, of course, yes. That is what we've been using at the Roots Organic Farms so far. We have never used any synthetic chemical to spray our crops before. We only use garlic spray, we use neem spray, like basically 100% organic. With the garlic spray, if you want to prepare your garlic spray, you need, let's say you take about 2 to 3 bulbs of the garlic. I'm not talking about cloves of garlic, but the bulb itself. 2 of them, and then you get a liter of water. You put the water on into the pan, and then put it on fire, and then drop the bulbs of garlic in it. It stays in boils for let's say about 10-15 minutes. Then you take the garlic out, and then mash it, you grind it, add a little bit of water, and put it back into the pan that you were originally boiling it from. When you take it back, it stays for another 10 to 15 minutes, and you bring it down, allow it to cool. You sieve it, and then you put the solution that you have in a gallon. That, my dear listeners, is your garlic spray. The application rates that we use so far, it's between 80 to 100 mils per knapsack. If you want to spray the knapsack sprayer, you take the solution and measure between 80 to 100 mils, and then add water to the brim of the knapsack, and then you spray, and voila, you are done with your pest control. So that's it for garlic spray, the production of garlic spray. Like I said earlier on, in the course of the year, we interviewed some farmers, and 2 of them stood out based on the interview and the information they gave us. We interviewed a lady pig farmer by name Ruth Opoku, who has her farm at Atabazi in the central region of Ghana. She's doing a marvelous job. And there are videos of her at the farm. We are going to post them on the website so you can have a look, comment on it, and ask any questions that you want to ask about it. Yes. So that is it for Ruth Opoku. She's actually currently involved in the government's flagship agriculture program. They initially said the Kukwa Nketinketi, but apparently they have other sides of the Nketinketi. So she is actually into Mpreko Nketinketi. Yes. So look at what she's doing on our website. There will be a clip there. Also, most recently, we interviewed Dada Lex, the current district. He's actually a municipal best farmer for Ashanti Mampong in the Ashanti region. He's doing a marvelous job. This is a guy who has over 200 acres of maize, 60 acres of rice, 160 cattle, 20,000 birds, like some sheep, ducks, goats. Is just amazing. He's actually, and looking at his age, he's quite a young guy. A young guy who has been able to go into farming like that is really commendable. We have his clip as well on our website. If you get there, you can watch it. There's a lot to learn from that clip. And you can ask further questions. If you need any more info, you can always reach us through the website, and we'll be more than happy to help you with whatever issue that we have. So yes, there goes our interviews with farmers. And I'll finally end this broadcast with vanilla production. I think the original story was done by my colleague, Mr. Ati Moses. But I'll just add a little bit that, yes, whatever he told you that day, vanilla is the new gold. It's the new gold. If it's like really, really profitable, if you go into vanilla production, you are in for something huge. Because if you go by the correct practices, and then you get the grade A vanilla, you are looking at $500 a kilogram. $500, not cedis, mind you. $500 a kilogram. Let's say if you get even the worst grade and you get $20 a kilogram, it is still worth much more than our cocoa. Yes, cocoa is about 64 kilos per bag.
Okay, and that has been agriculture. Thank you very much for tuning in with us. Thank you very much for staying with us as we took a journey through the stories that we have brought to you in the year 2025. As we said, in 2026, we hope to do even better. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. We're going to go off the stream right now, but we will be right back, like immediately back, with the lecture from Dr. Kojo Oponwadie from the Rastafari Council of Ghana. It's titled Divine, Ancient Divinity, I should say, Ancient Divinity, Concept for Rastafari in modern or contemporary times. Please make a point to join us. Thank you very much for joining us on this one, and we'll see you. Bye-bye.